Hello and welcome to Top 5 Friday with me, your host Tim Cant. And if, like me, you've ever been in a long dark tunnel for 31 seconds, you'll be very excited to hear that today we're looking at plugins for the best music. That's right, drum and bass. It's time to get grimy, guys! We're converts to RX550 at 5. Beatmaker is filling the void at 4. Reels is spinning in at 3. Neutron 3 is mixing it up at 2. And would you Adam and Eve it, Serum is number 1. At 5, it's RX950 by Inphonic. Emulating the AD-DA conversion of the Akai S950 sampler, RX950 is the ideal tool for putting some jungle flavour into your beats. Simply whack it on a track and wallow in that earthy, early 90s sound. The interface is simple with 4 main controls: input to add more distortion, audio bandwidth to adjust the aliasing, an Akai-style low-pass filter, and an output level for sorting out your gain after all that extra input. There's also a hidden brilliance control. At about $20, this one's a steal for those authentic old-school digital sounds. I flippin' love RX950, guys. It's so sick for getting that early 90s sound. That is the best sound, I think we can all agree. Let's have a listen to a bit of an original jungle break we've got here. It's all very nice and modern and clean sounding, but let's rough it up with some old school styling. So we're gonna activate RX950. Now, it sounds a little bit different. I mean, the main thing that's affecting it now is the audio bandwidth, which is turned down to a little under halfway. Let's first see what happens when we muck about with that. So it's like a little bit of filter and aliasing. Never mind that for the moment. The main event here is the input gain. Whacking that up, it kind of changes how rugged the sound is. To mitigate that volume increase though, first I'm going to turn down the output level because please, God, don't let me clip the master. So let's turn down 6 dB, I guess. Let's see how that does for us. Let's play this back. Now let's boost it. Okay, let's boost it. Adjust the audio bandwidth to get it sounding nice. I like it there. Now the moment of truth, guys. We've sort of got a level match. Let's listen to how it sounds with and without the effect. First without and then with. So it's peaking less with the effect on, and it sounds flippin' great. Oh, can't forget though, the hidden brilliance knob. It's like a kind of subtle EQ thing, I guess. Oh, and also, who could forget the Akai style filter? It's sick. Pity it doesn't have a resonance, but hey, you can't have everything. Great plugin, super cheap, check it out. At 4, Beatmaker Void by UJam. Totally dedicated to bass music, this plugin helps you create beats in DnB, dancehall, dubstep, garage, two-step and future-bass styles with just a few clicks. Controlled with MIDI, once you've chosen your kit and mix type, the bottom part of your keyboard activates particular drums and cymbals, while the upper part triggers whole patterns using intros, fills, endings and breakdowns, verses, choruses and specials. Each kit element also has control over things like level, decay, pitch and filtering. There's a master section too with sweep, saturate, maximize and ambient controls. One of the best things about Beatmaker Void is that you can drag individual drum patterns from the keyboard into your DAW as MIDI files to tweak a little further too. It's 69 euros. Let's check out the main bits of Beatmaker Void's functionality. Your MIDI control is split into 2 sections. You have your instrument section where you can play individual drum sounds. You get the idea. And then you have these style bits, which are patterns basically. So you find something you like. Let's have that one, and you can drag it onto the MIDI track. Then you can use it to play the instrument back. And you can change your kit. I'll go with that one. And then you can choose your style of mix as well. try a bit more crush. Let's put the vortex effect on. And you can go in and edit the individual drum sounds as well. So, pretty fun and pretty simple, and I would recommend Beatmaker Void to newbies especially, because as you can see, it's real easy to use. You can get some beats going real quick. At 3, Reels by Audio Thing. This tape emulator is a dab hand at making digital sources sound a lot more like analog recordings, especially useful for those atmospheric or liquid funk moments. There are a ton of presets and plenty of settings to determine exactly how your virtual tape will perform. Tape type, tape speed, ducking, harshness, wow and flutter, crosstalk, hiss and motor. There's also an echo module that you can use to introduce some vintage tape style delay, with control over the time, feedback, low pass cutoff and delay level. Elsewhere there's a limiting mono output and more. Reels cost about 50 quid from pluginboutique.com. Reels is fantastic at making stuff sound old. Listen to this piano loop, which is not being processed. The bypass button is active, so we're just going to hear the original dry loop. Let's listen now. Now it sounds very modern and hi-fi. Listen to how it changes when we activate the plugin. Instantly, we're transported back in time. We can make it sound even older by simply monoing it. So then when we bypass, and that's without even using any of the settings. I'm not going to show you all the settings now. I am going to show you a cool preset I found. Old school cool. It's so cool. Let's listen. And compare again. So a world of difference from a rather reasonably priced plugin there. At 2, Neutron 3 by iZotope. This huge plugin is an entire mixing package, offering EQ, multiband compressors, gate, exciter and transient shaper, plus a new sculptor tool. You can even use the built-in AI to help you mix everything. Each one of Neutron's processors is insanely powerful on its own, with features like dynamic bands and masking detection in EQ, and vintage and modern compression modes in the compressors. Neutron starts at €126 for the single band elements version, and standard and advanced versions are available too. Now you may remember me telling you about 2 seconds ago that Neutron Elements was €126. Well, at the time of making this video, all versions are on sale, and you can get the standard version for only 128 squid. So do check to see if it's on sale before you invest. Also, I would recommend in plumping for the standard or advanced versions, because they are the ones that feature the multi-band processing, which is sick. I'm going to show you how it works right now, specifically with the transient shaper. Now this is a tip I use a lot. We're going to use some multi-band transient shaping, so we're going to add a band at about 200 Hertz, one at 6 kilohertz. This is how version 2 had them set up by default, and I'm not an imaginative man. So we've got our Amon loop here. It's kind of jungleistic. Let's have a listen. Sick, obviously. Tough to fit into a mix, especially a drum and bass mix with a lot of one-shots. Here's a way you can make it sound a little bit nicer in the mix. We're going to select the mid band. We're going to turn down the sustain. And as you can hear, that cleans things right up. I mean, it's very tempting to overcook it and take out too much or even add too much. You can really make it big and clangy. So I would advise showing restraints with this. Also, there are 3 modes. I like the sound of precise. So there we go. And of course you can add attack as well and change sustain on each of the bands. So you could add some attack to mid band. Oh, that's going to interfere with my snares. Let's add some attack on the highs. Ooh, very tempting, but oh so naughty. Anyway, For working with breakbeats, neutron transient shaper multiband processing is sick. Why don't you check it out right now, guys? And at number 1, it's Serum by Extra Records. Serum has been the number 1 synth choice for DnB heads for a few years now, and despite stiff competition, it's maintained a vice-like grip on our hearts. 2 wavetable oscillators generate the sound, and you can scan, skew, and mess with the waveforms here to modify your source. Next, filtering, up to 8 LFOs, envelopes, macros, and a separate tab full of effects to drench any patch in. If you've yet to bask in Serum's astounding tones and have €189, it'd be crazy not to give it a try. Let's show off Serum's DnB capabilities with a little bit of a jump up bass. Now, I'm going to start this real simple with the basic shapes. Wavetable, we're just going to use a sine tone. Real simple. We're going to activate oscillator B, which is a sawtooth. We're going to turn that down. We don't actually want to listen to it. We just want to use this as an FM modulation source. So we're going to set the warp knob of oscillator A to FM from B. And when we turn this up, oh lordy, we get that characteristic FM tone. Now we want this to move, so we're going to use LFO1 to modulate it. Let's do that. And we're going to put this in envelope mode, so it just plays once, and we'll turn BPM off so we can fine tune its rate. Now this is pretty high so far. I want to stay in this octave for reasons, but I'm just going to pitch this oscillator down 3 octaves so it's a bit more bassy. Now, there we go! As you can hear, we're getting close to that lush jump up sound, but I'm just going to change this to a pulse. And there we go. We're getting the real subby low end, but also that crunchy mid that we like so much. So that's your basic jump up thing. There's various ways we can change the sound. The first of which is we detune this oscillator. Let's take it up a few octaves. Oh, horrible screechiness. That's your sort of thing. You know you're in the right place. And we can also do semitone detuning. Oh, you get the idea. Let's take that back down to 0, and we're gonna choose a different wavetable for this oscillator, because that's another way you can get a bit of an interesting sound. So let's just go through some stuff. And of course, by changing the wavetable position, we get different results. You get the idea, and there's tons of wavetables in here, so you can get a load of different sounds. Let's go for a little bit of C64 action, guys. Yeah, just a barrage of filth all day and all night. And that's just one reason why Serum is sick for drum and bass synthesis. Well, the bells have been released, and I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. Just want to big up all the drum and bass producers out there. You guys are the real heroes. And please, hit that subscribe button and tap my notification bell, and I'll see you real soon.